Hello, this is Tip Top Gaming here today with another video. Now, today I hopefully improved my audio quality a little bit, and we're going to quickly go through all of these spoilers because I have stuff I really have to do, but I want to make sure you guys stay up to date. So today we're on the Mythic Spoiler website, and we're just going to quickly run through these. We have Obnixilis reignited as the Planeswalker. Oh, and this is the whole Madness deck. We have Obnixilis reignited for the Planeswalker, which says you draw a card and lose a life and destroy a creature. Overall, of course, I'm not going to comment as much on cards that I believe are reprints or that are pretty simple. Obnixilis is pretty simple. Overseer of the Damned. When it enters the battlefield, you may destroy target creature. First, it's a 7/5/5. 7 cost 5/5, and whenever a non-token creature an opponent controls dies, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. It's okay. You can tap to add generic mana, then pay 2 and tap to make each player draw a card, then discard a card. That includes yourself, which is good, saying this is a Madness deck, because if you discard stuff, you get the Madness effect. Then we have Chaos Warp, which is one of the best, not best red removals, but it's the most universal red removal, because you can basically just shuffle anything, including enchantments, into their owner's library, and they get to pop out the top card of their library. And there's a chance that it's something worse, but there's a chance that nothing happens at all. Next, we have Squee, which basically just says at the beginning of your upkeep, return them to your hand. So if for some reason you don't have the Madness cards, and you still you need to draw a card, you can then just dump Squee in the graveyard and then get it back. Pretty good value there. Undying, when it dies, return to the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it. If it didn't have any +1/+1 counters on it. When it or another creature from the battlefield, whenever it or another creature enters the battlefield from your graveyard, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. So when this thing returns, it would be a 5/3, and so it would deal 5 damage to any target, which is pretty good. Then we have Beacon of Unrest. Put target artifact or creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Shuffle it and shuffle this card into its own library. Warstorm Surge. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, deals damage equal to its power to any target. That's fun. I'm going through these really fast. Mire and Misery. Each opponent sacrifices a creature and enchantment. Boneyard Parley. Exile up to 5 target creatures cards from a graveyard. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. Put all the cards from pile of your choice on the battlefield under your control and put the rest into their owner's graveyard. So they can't just make 2 piles, one with nothing, one with everything, because you're just going to pick the one with everything, so you have to pretty well balance them. So I guess it works out. You're going to end up probably getting 3 cards, 2 or 3 cards. Doomed Necromancer, similar to the Doomed Artisan yesterday. You can tap, pay a mana, sacrifice him to return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield in case you discarded it because you had to. Bone Miser, whenever you discard a creature card, create a 2/2 black zombie creature. Whenever you discard a land, add 2 black mana. Whenever you discard a non-creature, non-land spell, draw a card. That is crazy with Madness, because the whole thing is just discard, discard, discard. Hey, I have to discard? I'll discard a land, get 2 mana, use that ability to discard some more cards, then draw some cards, create some zombies. It's crazy. Just a note, technically, if your creature is a creature land, which I believe there is one of, you get both effects. Or if it's like an artifact land, you get both of these. Or no, it says non-land. Oops. Never mind. Ignore that last one. Greven, Predator Captain. It gets +X/+O, where X is the amount of life you've lost this turn, and whenever it attacks, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, draw a card equal to that creature's power, and you lose life equal to that creature's toughness. This could theoretically be like a really quick win. It also has Menace, so it's harder to block. Nightmare and Making. Exile each creature with power greater than the number of cards in your hand. In Commander, that's not generally... Oh, and then you can do it for less. So if you draw a lot, which you probably won't, you do that. And if you're discarding all your cards, then you can do this too. So I guess it's okay. Then we have this card, which is Hate Mirage. Choose up to 2 target creatures you don't control. For each of those creatures, create a token that's a copy of them. They gain haste and then sacrifice them. Then we have Skyfire Phoenix, which whenever your commander returns from the command zone to the battlefield, it comes back. We have Aeon Engine, which is fun. It says exile it, tap it, reverse the game's turn order. That's fun. for 5, and it enters tapped. We have Idol of Oblivion. Draw a card, activates this ability. Only if you created a token this turn. Create a 10/10 colorless Eldrazi token. I believe this was actually in the Selesnya deck. Then we have Chainer, Nightmare Depth. Discard a card. You may cast a creature card from your graveyard. You may cast a creature card from your graveyard this turn and activate this ability only once per turn. That is crazy, because you want to discard. Discarding's a good thing, and having discard for free, that's really awesome. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if you didn't cast it from your hand, it gains haste until the end of your next turn. So it means if you cast something from your graveyard, it has haste. Doesn't have to just be with this ability. Curse of Fool's Wisdom, 6 costs. Enchantment, Aura Curse. Enchant player. Whenever enchanted player draws a card, they lose 2 life and gain 2 life. Madness 4. That's one thing I noticed. Madness deck. Woo. What has Madness? This is the first card with Madness I've seen. Although it looks like we're getting there. Big Game Hunter. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. It can't be regenerated. That is, restrictive, but it's a 1/1 creature that kills stuff, and generally the big stuff you want to kill will be big. However, little like minion creatures that you might want to kill also are things you want to kill. Like things that whenever something dies, take a damage. That stuff's kind of crazy. But you can pay 1 if you discard this card. So if you use an effect that says discard a card, you can cast a creature card from your graveyard. You could cast this for 1. That's kind of the power of Madness. Then we have Grimoire of the Dead. Discard a card, put a study counter on it. Remove 3 study count. Wow, my mic is giving me some feedback from my air. Remove my breath, not my air. Remove 3 study counters from it. Sacrifice it. Put all creature cards from all graveyards onto the battlefield under your control. They're black zombies. We have Hedonist Trove. I'm sorry, that noise keeps happening. I can hear it. Hedonish Trove. When it enters the battlefield, exile all cards from opponent's graveyard. You may play lands, exile this. You get to play your opponent's lands, and when you may cast non-land cards with Hedonish Trove, you can't cast more than 1 spell this way each turn. So you basically, you just put a whole bunch of cool cards in your graveyard. I can now cast them all. We have this demon. This is a really big one, and again, like I said, I have to get through this quickly. So here's what it does. You can pause. I'm gonna actually read the rest of them. Wildfire Devils. When it enters the battlefield, at the beginning of your upkeep, choose a player at random. That player exiles an instant source you card from their graveyard. Copy that card. You may cast the spell without paying its mana cost. Then we have a couple Selesnya cards that for some reason weren't spoiled until today. We have... Yeah. So then we get into a bunch of Selesnya cards. Also, by the way, Rowan got spoiled. And then we have Geth, Lord of the Vault. Intimidate, X, black. Put a target artifact creature with converted mana cost X from an opponent's graveyard onto the battlefield. Under your control, that player puts the top X card of the library into the graveyard. Pretty good. Either way, why don't we go over to Magic's website, and we can see what... Oh my god. Okay, you know what's infuriating? When the black... Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Let's quickly switch over to Wizards site so you guys can actually take a look at the commander preview... Not commander previews. Oh god. The commander decks. So I'm going to give you a quick little look, and then that'll be the end of this video. Actually, I'm going to sign off here. And so yeah, see you guys in the next one, but I'll quickly go over the deck. Like this. See ya. Could this button